In the hot and bustling cities in the West, there is a town where the night is like the day. Everyone is going up and down doing their jobs to make sure a life counts. There is a family who lived close together. They worked hard and made sure that they were bound by family love. There is a guy named Ryan, and this is Ryan's story.
My name is Ryan. I grew up in a family that never really talked much about Africa. Except maybe when there is a bad news about Africa, of which you know that bad news spreads faster than any other thing. So, when my company picked me to go to Nigeria for a mineral exploration project, fear kicked in. My mom warned me about food poisoning. She told me that a lot of food cooked in Nigeria are not actually prepared, but these days could be poisonous to me. Even when I asked her, how is it that people there don't have food poisoning? She said, maybe they are created differently from us. This made me panic. Oh, my sister. That one, she made matters worse. My sister told me that the people are very hostile. She told me that the people there could kill people at will, stab people, and there was no law. That people there were lawless. This made me panic the more. But what about my dad? Oh, my dad. He only said, be careful. I have seen skeletons online. So you gotta be very careful when you go over there. One girl even told me that people disappear on the streets, just like the Armageddon. That's made my heart sink. She told me you could be walking on the street and people disappear. And she said they call it juju. But what does that mean? I don't even know. All I knew was fear. I asked my boss if someone could go on behalf of me because the tension was too much. So that day, when I got to the office, I went straight to my boss and I asked him, maybe an African colleague of mine could go home and do this research and presentation. But my boss said no. Instead, he says, Ryan, we sent you to Cambridge. For this, you are the best man for the job. Or, can't you justify the money spent on you for your scholarships in Cambridge? Read about this. This is a project the company cherish so much, and that's why you're the best man for the job. That night, I sat in my room for hours, thinking, what am I going to do? At some point, I wanted to back out. But then, I decided to talk to one of my friends. And during our conversation, my friend said something that changed everything. He said, if you go And if something goes wrong, at least you will be remembered for trying. But if you don't go at all, you will never know the truth. That means you never tried. This was a big burden. I was torn with adventure, standing in for my company or just backing out. But then, what my friend said stuck in my mind, and I decided to give it a trial. On that day, I picked up my things, my bags, and I left for Nigeria. When I arrived Nigeria, I was on a connecting flight to Asaba. I arrived Asaba to the bright Afrobeat music with warm visuals. People were so happy. I was shocked. I was thinking I'm going to meet people that were hostile. But lo and behold, they welcomed me with a warm and honest smile. Let me not talk about my guide. He was a wonderful guy. He made me feel at home from the airport. In fact, they honored me to the point I felt like I was a president visiting another country. That was the kind of honor I received from the simple things I saw from them in the airport. Then, my guide took me to the bitumen sites, and from there, he took me to the fields of Lokoja, and I saw the beautiful areas. I saw Asaba. Asaba is beautiful. Nice people, nice atmosphere. Everybody is kind, moving on their own, nobody cared. And when I got to Lokoja, oh, that was wonderful. My guide took time to show me different parts of things I never saw, but I was still focused on the mission. After the mission, I was impressed, and I asked my guide if I could get more of the local feel to understand why people are so happy in this part of the world. Then he took me to the villages. These villages were close to Asaba, and we went to the villages. When I got to the villages, oh, this changed my life. To put it into perspective, I was supposed to leave after 2 weeks, but I ended up staying 2 months. I had to call my office and I told them that I had more of research to do. Yes, I had more to research. And my boss graciously allowed me, knowing that I was afraid, but now I want to do the job. He gave me a go-ahead. Well, don't ask about the funds. I had to use my credit card because I didn't want to put my burden on anybody. This was the sweetest part of this adventure. I had to eat the local food. It was amazing. I had to meet people. Here you understand what is family. Every household cared about another. Anywhere I pass, people always call me, "What's that? Oh ye boy." It made me laugh. When I asked my guide, what does that mean? He said it means a white guy. That made me laugh. These people actually cared for me more than what I could care for them. They spoilt me. I climbed trees. I went to the stream to fetch water. I had the opportunity to carry things on my head. I had to feel the natural environment. I understood what family means. Everyone comes to check on me. They treated me like a king. I never wanted to come back, but of course, I have to come back so that the work will continue. And when I got back, I showed my parents the pictures. They were really surprised because when they didn't see me, they were getting worried, but I kept sending them messages that I was fine. Even when they thought maybe something bad had happened to me, I sent them messages and videos. So now they saw me and I showed them pictures of my adventure, my going to the stream, my climbing trees, my eating roasted chicken. Oh, there is something I forgot. What's the name of that? Oh, they called it pear and corn. Ube Noka. I can't forget that. It was a wonderful taste. When my parents saw this, they were so emotional. But they were now thinking maybe Nigeria should be their holiday destination. But then I have a job to do. I made my presentation to the company and my boss was like, "How did you get all this data for us?" I thought we were afraid to go for this. I smiled. I told him I actually saw more than what I thought I would see. He laughed. He said, "You have done very well. I love your presentation. The management will be happy with your presentation. You didn't just bring this data for us, but you brought the truth." Guess what? Now, my parents, my sister, even my friends, they are now planning that Africa should be their Christmas destination. They want to go to Africa and keep exploring. And I told them that Nigeria is a wonderful place to be. They all agreed with me, seeing how happy I am, seeing my pictures and my video. This really made me happy, and I now understand that not everything you see online may be true position of what it is. Now, the Africa I never knew. Sometimes it's good to see yourself and know the truth. I hope you listening have taken something down. I hope you're happy with this. Try Africa. It's a journey you will never regret.